Hello friends and welcome. I'm Yvonne Davis, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a political prediction for 2021. So as I promised, for a while at least, I'm going to be just doing the political astrology videos on my Yvonne Davis channel, and all the other general astrology forecasts and tarot readings on the other channel, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. And basically what I'm wanting to do is to work on sorting out the material that I'm going to be doing on each channel. And by the end of 2021, I hope to have two thriving channels that are unique but overlap a little bit. So for now, I'll be doing just the political astrology on this Yvonne Davis channel. So today I'm going to talk about February 17th, and I'll explain why, and I'll show you the chart. But first of all, what I want to say is that this video is working in conjunction with another one that I'm posting this weekend that will focus on January, because one thing I want to express and make clear is that when we start the year, January is pretty much going to be the most difficult month of the year. After that, it is going to get easier, okay? It's going to get much, much easier. But it's going to start out with some pretty challenging alignments, and they're definitely related to the transfer of power. Now, the thing I want to make very clear is that there will be success in the transfer of power. So you don't have to worry about that. And in fact, that's why there's going to be so many problems, is because of the fact that the transfer of power will be successful. There will be some people out there who will be extremely upset by it, okay? Because you have to consider that Trump has not been willing to let go. His hardcore base is about 30%. And then there's a very minuscule sliver of that 30% that isn't just his hardcore base. They are extremists. And they're the ones that are going to be causing the most trouble, okay? And as I said at the beginning of Biden's term, unfortunately, the issues he's going to have to deal with more than anything else, and unfortunately, that's going to take away from the more important work, but he won't have a choice. He's going to have to deal with issues of sedition and domestic terrorism at the beginning of his administration. So, and I think, you know, I try to be really honest on this channel and tell you the truth, partly because I'm a Sagittarian. I can't really, I'm not really good at lying, so I can't really do it anyway. So I have to tell you the truth. But also because I have integrity, and, you know, as an astrologer, I want my word to be trustworthy, which means that my predictions match what actually happens. And so that's another reason why I have to tell you the truth. So February 17th, 2021 is going to be a difficult day. And like I said, that's this video is in conjunction with another that I'm going to do about January 2021. And both of them will be posted this weekend. So here's the other thing I want to say. I'm really going to make an effort in 2021 to always be the astrologer on YouTube who tells you what is coming first, okay? I want to be like way out ahead of the pack. Sometimes when I see like a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction and everybody's talking about it at the same time, it feels like, you know, you're just standing in a crowd. And I really want my work to stand out as unique and original. So that's one way that I can do that, is by always being the first astrologer to tell you what's coming. So that's why today I'm going to be talking about February 17th, and you will know well ahead of time, like almost 2 months ahead of time. You will know what's coming in February 17th. So let me go ahead and pull up those charts and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is a chart for February 17th, 2021. Uranus is squaring Saturn for the first time. It will square Saturn three times actually in 2021. This is the first time. So you can see Uranus up here in Taurus at 7 degrees, 14 minutes. making an exact square to Saturn at 7 degrees of Aquarius, 14 minutes. Now, this is difficult enough in itself, but then when you bring in the moon, you bring in the emotions and the subconscious. And the theme, I think, for this kind of alignment is the crazies crawl out of the woodwork. And the moon really triggers this because it's people's emotions and subconscious. And so they go a little bit crazy under this kind of alignment. So the moon is going to make multiple squares on this day. So let me tell you what each one is, and then we'll talk specifically about the Uranus square to Saturn. Okay, so on this day, the moon squares Saturn early in the morning, and then the moon conjoins Uranus in the morning shortly after that, or at the same time practically. And then Saturn squares Uranus. And then the moon squares Mercury in Aquarius, and then the moon in Taurus squares Jupiter in Aquarius. So we've got a lot of squares that day, okay? So let's see what we can say about this. So like I said, it's pretty intense. I think this is a day that could potentially indicate domestic terrorism. And so it's going to be a bit difficult. So then after we look at that, I want to show you, I thought, okay, who's going to be impacted by this? Well, obviously President Joe Biden. So let's see how it lands on his chart. And it's very interesting because what you see down here is Uranus conjunct the moon in his 6th house of work. It's over as part of fortune, so hopefully that will help him. But it's opposite his Mars, okay? So this is a definite conflict. These are his enemies, unfortunately, in the 12th house. And he has some hidden enemies too, because hidden enemies are in the 12th house. So it's not just open enemies, it's hidden enemies. And so it's making that square to his 3rd house of communication. And so this is Saturn at 7 degrees Aquarius, 14 minutes. And this is the square from Uranus and the moon in his 6th house of work. And then there's another square in opposition, which goes to his Pluto. But this was the part that was most interesting because the exact square of Saturn at 17, the exact square of Saturn at 7 degrees Aquarius, 14 minutes, and Uranus at 7 degrees, 14 minutes, that's when it's exact, is exactly in a square in opposition to Biden's Pluto at 7 degrees of Leo, 14 minutes. The 9th house rules politics, and Pluto is your sense of power, okay? So definitely someone is, in a sense, questioning his power. And this is going to lead to conflict. So as I said, the biggest issues are going to be, in the beginning of his administration, are going to be sedition and domestic terrorism. And I think that this day is going to be one of the worst, unfortunately. But he's going to have to deal with this once and for all. That's just all there is to it. It's his job. He's going to have to do this. And he does have some things in his favor. So as an example, all of this energy in Aquarius is trining his Uranus and Saturn in his 7th house of others. So he actually has a ton of support in the government. The people who really matter, the people who actually have power, the people who are actually governing in this country, they are going to be supporting Biden because they know he's the real president. The people who are questioning his authority are Trump's extremist, the extremist sliver of his hardcore base. So it's fortunate then that he does have support. This support is important because this is Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, all in trine And Venus is there too in that house, and the sun, these are some really good planets here for support. And so he's getting a really nice trine up to Saturn and Uranus in his seventh house of others. And the Saturn is really important because Saturn is actually authority. Saturn is authority. And that's what it comes down to in the end. Who has the authority? Who has the power? So he has the support of those people. And so I do see a lot in his favor. So even though it's going to be a difficult day and he has to deal with this once and for all, that's his job, but he has a lot of support. Okay. So I know he can handle this. Okay, so that's it for today. And I just want to remind you that things will get better and we will get through the difficult beginning to 2021 together. So just keep the faith and we'll get there. All right, so that's it for today. And I will see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.